What women think they want and what they actually want are two different things, completely. This leaves women in a perpetual state of complete confusion. So what's made the feminine feel unsafe her whole life, right? Difficulty, is rude, is overpowering, is dominant, gets mad, is aggressive, makes you feel unsafe. Of course, her ego, to keep you safe, will make you think you desire a man who is always easy, never gets mad, is always lovey-dovey, and always says yes baby, and doesn't cause you issues, right? Your mind thinks it needs that because the opposite of it has destroyed you. How quickly does their relationship fall into just platonic friendship? My goal for anyone listening to this, for women, is to finish this episode feeling in your body, I have clarity. I know what I want, and I know why I've been sabotaging myself and feeling so confused. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of the New Age Sage podcast. Today's episode, I believe, is a pivotal one for the feminine and the masculine. And the context and intention of this episode is essentially describing what women actually want. And that may sound like a simple thing. Oh, why should a guy know this? I'm going deeper. The core issue here that I notice and I've seen over and over again, from talking to women, from my own experiences, from studying all this stuff, from being out in the field and observing relationships, it's that what women think they want and what they actually want are two different things, completely. And it's only in understanding what they want truly that they get to experience it. Why is this the case? How does this play out? I'm going to go as general as I can just to explain a certain pattern that I noticed, that we've all noticed, is that women tend to oscillate between the very safe, overly nice guy and the complete asshole. So why is that? Why is that the case? Again, this is all very broad. They think they want the nice, safe man, but quickly realize there's no passion, right? You finally meet the handsome, charming, very kind person who always says yes, is always there for you, is always super safe, but you're missing a passion. You're missing the sexual aliveness, a polarity. You're missing the feeling I want to rip this guy's clothes off and jump all over him. And I feel him as a man. I feel like he can protect me. I feel like he can ravish me. That's missing. And then because the passion there is missing, they'll quickly go back to the asshole because the passion was there. So, because with the asshole, at least they felt something. They at least felt alive. So it's this, you go to the nice, safe guy, and there's this missed feeling of aliveness. It's dead. But your mind thought you wanted this guy. Your mind thought you wanted the nice guy, but you feel dead inside. And then you go back to the asshole because at least the asshole makes you feel alive. And you're stuck in that aliveness, but you're like, this guy's an asshole. So women are stuck between these two poles of going with what their mind thinks of this should be safe, not feeling alive, not feeling turned on to the fullest, and then going back to the asshole because they miss the feeling of aliveness. So this leaves women in a perpetual state of complete confusion. I see this confusion kill women. When a woman meets the safe, nice guy who's handsome, who's super kind, who's always loving, who never says no, her mind thinks she's always wanted that. But quickly, in months or weeks, she loses all sense of sexual aliveness for this man. There's no danger in him. There's no little spark of crazy in his eye. And then women feel like, why? But this is a nice, safe guy. Why don't I love him? Why don't I want to jump all over him? What's going on here? And then they shame themselves as the problem, that I'm toxic, I'm this, I'm that. That's not the truth. The safe, nice guy isn't actually a real man. His whole identity is to please you because he's so terrified of telling you the truth and you leaving him. So in reality, he's a coward. And you feel that in your body. Your unconscious knows he's a coward. You knows it. But you're so confused because you're like, I wanted a safe, nice man. Well, it turns out the safe, nice guy is a complete pussy. That's the truth. He really is, because he has no ability to tell you what he really thinks. And you feel that shit. You feel it deep down in you, and that's why he doesn't turn you on. At least the asshole tells you the truth. He may be a asshole, but at least he tells you the truth. So again, women are left in this state of complete confusion, And then they develop a complete lack of self-trust. Because in their mind, they think, I've always wanted this handsome, safe, nice man, yet I keep going back to the asshole. What the is wrong with me? So women are left in this perpetual state of confusion of what the is wrong with me? Why can't I love someone safe, someone nice? And the truth is, it's really complicated because he's not safe. He's not nice. The asshole is actually safer and nicer in some ways than you may not expect, because at least the asshole will tell you the truth. And at least the asshole isn't using you because he needs you to feel safe. And the asshole has his own issues that I'll definitely go down on a rabbit hole on, but I'm just opening this up in the introduction contextually to present the fact that, woman, you're not crazy. The fact that the nice guy, the safe guy, makes you feel zero sexual aliveness has nothing to do with you. It's your own mind playing games with you because you think that the safe, nice guy is the end goal, but it's not. The safe, nice guy's a coward because he's too scared to tell you the truth and what he thinks. But then you go to the asshole because he holds the keys to your aliveness. And that flip-flop is the modern experience women have. Nice guy, asshole, nice guy, asshole. And they're stuck in this limbo. So the path forward will be presented in this podcast as, like, what do you all really think you want? Identify that. And then realize why you don't really want that. And then understanding what you actually want and how to get it. So my goal for anyone listening to this, for women, is to finish this episode feeling in your body, I have clarity. I know what I want, and I know why I've been sabotaging myself and feeling so confused. I'm going to leave you with clarity as to what you actually want. And when you know truly what you actually want, you can go and get that thing. For men, this is mainly for women, but for men, this will help you realize why the answer is not to be an asshole and it's not to be a nice guy. Both those polarities are where 99% of men fall into. And the 1%, which I'll conclude with, is the man who's safe, but he's also a killer. He'll tell you the truth, and it'll be in his heart at the same time. And I'll expand on that further down the line. Okay. What do women think they want? I briefly touched on this, but it's worth picking it apart a little bit. What the woman thinks they want, again, what's thinking? Thinking is the ego's pattern of prediction to make you feel safe, right? So what's made the feminine feel unsafe her whole life, right? Difficulty, is an asshole, is rude, is overpowering, is dominant, gets mad, is aggressive, makes you feel unsafe. So women have had horrible experiences with that, mostly probably because an overbearing, overprotective, over-aggressive father, or, of course, certain despicable, depraved sexual experiences that most women have had, or men have been overpowering and abusive. So most women use that correctly so to develop thinking patterns in their mind of, next time a man comes into my life, and also the consequence of feminism, where women have been designed and taught to think all men are disgusting, depraved, and bad, which a lot are, but definitely not all men. So with that psychic wounding that all women possess, of course your ego, to keep you safe, will make you think you desire a man who is always easy, never gets mad, is always lovey-dovey, and always says, yes, baby, and doesn't cause you issues, right? Your mind thinks it needs that because the opposite of it has destroyed you. And there's space for that. I can really hold my heart and say, man, men have this all up. We're disgusting, depraved pigs sometimes, the worst of us, and that's just not right. And it's especially not right because it's confusing the out of women to think they want a complete beta. Really. Because men have been so dangerous in their power, they've misused their power, that women are scared of male power. When male power used correctly is a beautiful thing. But now women are terrified of it, and they're brainwashed to think they need a guy who's a complete beta. By beta, I don't mean someone who's like skinny or feminine. I mean a guy who is literally a pushover, where he's too scared to tell you the truth, where he's just, yes, baby, yes, baby, yes, baby. That's the kind of man women think they want because the opposite has caused so much damage to them. So I'm saying this to justify your perception, woman. You thinking, I need the super safe, nice guy who's always saying yes, doesn't have any boundaries. I want that kind of guy. In your mind, I understand that, but it's not truth. Let me explain why. Okay, again, I've seen this pattern over and over and over again, and every single woman, minus the ones who meet their husband when they're 18 and Christian, experience this shit, which is, I meet the handsome, nice guy who is loving, is safe, never tells me anything that ruffles my feathers, handles everything I tell him, handles everything. He's always fine. He's like a golden retriever. How often does that woman quickly lose all sexual appetite for that man? How quickly does their relationship fall into just platonic friendship? Most marriages now are just friendships, where the woman feels so unsafe with any man who has touched with his masculinity that she settles for a guy who's kind of handsome, super nice, but they're friendly. And she can tolerate that friendship because it's safe, because real deep love and intimacy is terrifying for her because men have abused her, which makes sense. I'm saying this to point out that how long does that shit last? Do you want to be with someone who's safe and nice, but deep down you have no desire to f them? You want to spend years, 10, 20, 30 years married to a guy that's just nice, that you're friendly with, that's can make you laugh, but your pussy's like, no. You really want that guy. I don't think you do. And I think most women don't. The fact that most women are so turned on by pornographic texts, 50 Shades of Grey, all this stuff means there's a part of them that wants a man to ravish them, where they can feel so turned on and alive by this guy that their feminine energy explodes and they're surrendered into complete submission, not in a you have to do what I say way, but in a way of like, I trust this man to ravish me. I trust this man safe enough in his holding his power that he can ravish me. That's a aphrodisiac. So again, when a woman meets this kind of guy, she will lose sexual interest, polarity, and eventually respect for the man as a man. And then she'll be confused and ashamed, thinking, I thought I wanted this. Why don't I feel passion? Why don't I feel alive? Why don't I want to have sex with this man? Right? And no woman should be there. They don't. Right? You think you want a guy who's like that, but in that experience, you actually don't, because your body doesn't crave him. Your ego does. Not the ego that's passionate, the ego that wants to play it safe, that wants to live in a box. So women who settle for the nice guy, who has no boundaries, who's a pushover, are women who live in their box of comfort. And they're so scared of leaving that, because leaving that means potentially getting hurt. So they'd rather push over a guy they have no sexual interest over because they're too scared to leave the comfort zone. So to go to the next section on this, if women think they want this, but they don't actually want this, then what do they actually want? And this is where you have to sit with me, because your egos are designed to tell me that I'm wrong here, but every single experience of woman proves me right. So just listen to me, resist your mind's temptations to pull you back into your zone of familiarity, your comfort zone, where you think you want a safe, nice guy who's a beta. Just listen to me. Allow me to explain, okay? And if you listen to me, I'm not saying I'm here to hypnotize you or change your mind, but something will make sense that I'm saying that'll hit you in your body beyond your mind. So just listen up. Women are more psychic than we know. And their psychic abilities live in their womb. And their womb is connected to their unconscious. Their unconscious in the womb of the woman feels and notices everything, even if her conscious mind can't perceive it. What does this mean? When a woman's dating a nice guy, her mind may think this guy is nice, this guy is safe. Her unconscious, her womb deep down knows he's not, and because she knows he's not unconsciously, she does not want to have sex with him. So how do you explain that? A woman dates the handsome, nice, safe guy. Her mind thinks this is what I wanted, but her body screams, I don't want to f this guy. If you don't want to f a guy, is he actually safe? Why wouldn't you want to f him? And that's what women get confused. Like, I don't want to f the shit out of this guy, but he's super safe and nice and handsome. I don't know what to do here. But your body's actually correct. Let me explain why. Is it sexy to feel a man who is too afraid to tell you the truth because he's terrified of losing you? Is that sexy? If I were to grab a guy, and this guy is so terrified of losing a woman that he's too much of a coward to tell her the truth. So he swallows his truth constantly because he's scared of losing her. So he essentially just exists to make her happy in sacrifice of his own truth. Is that sexy? Is it sexy to look at a man who wants to tell the truth, but he's too scared because he's terrified of losing you, so he squashes and silences his whole reality because he's terrified? Is that sexy? No. It's not. Because that nice guy who's terrified of telling the truth is still a terrified little boy who sacrifices his needs and himself to receive love. The nice guy who's terrified of telling his woman the truth was once a little kid who, if he told his mother what he really felt, she'd abandon him and chastise him and hit him. So he learned that if I say what I feel is true, my mom will abuse me or leave me. And that same energy is brought to the relationship, which the woman unconsciously registers deep down in her body. And it's like, this guy isn't real. I don't want to have sex with him. So a woman can only be deeply turned on by a man who fully stands in his power. Think about that. Would you be sexually attracted to a guy who is not powerful, who has no connection to his power, and is just a pushover like a leaf in the wind? Or are you more attracted to a guy who's rooted in the ground, who's confident in himself, and you feel his power? Not a power of I'm going to kill you, I'm going to dominate you, but a power of I'm strong. I can handle emotions. I can handle disappointing you. I can handle whatever life throws at me. Is that sexy or not? You know deep down what I'm saying is true. That the guy who isn't a pushover, who's grounded, rooted in his own identity, who's confident, is sexy. Now, what's more powerful than a man who tells the truth? Telling the truth as a man is not easy. It's not. Because when we tell the truth to a woman, women don't move at the same pace as men. They're much more intuitive. She has to feel out the truth in her body to get to a place where she can see it. So men tells the truth to a woman will react, take space to digest it, and the man has to sit there and be okay with her reaction. When a man tells a man the truth, the man could be like, true, not true, logical fact, yes, yes, no, no. Women feel the truth. So a man telling a woman the truth means that she's not gonna like this. She may need space to process this. She may need time to tend to her garden and feel and breathe and go back and to sense it out. But too many men are too pussy to tell a woman the truth because he's scared of her not hugging him, and kissing him for a couple hours. He's so terrified of her taking her own space that he won't say the truth because he's terrified of her leaving him. So a man in his power says the truth because he knows the truth is God. The truth is the divine. If the truth is God, if the truth is divine, the truth is what's most real. Even if we strip down the esoteric stuff, which I'm a fan of, what's more real than the truth? Tell me an answer. The closest thing we have to reality is the truth. That may sound like a very, basic, rudimentary statement, but it's real. The only thing that's real is the truth. The closest thing we have to reality is the truth. Therefore, the closest thing we have to God is the truth. So, if a man is deeply aligned with the truth, even if it may cause discomfort for his woman momentarily, that guy is real. And is a real man sexy or is a fake man sexy? A real man is a man who's one with the truth. That's sexy. That's real. He's real. A woman can feel a real man, and a real man is someone who tells the truth, even if she doesn't like it. A fake man is someone who withholds the truth because he's too scared to say it, because he's scared of her disappointment, of her disapproval. And is a man really a man if he's terrified of a woman disapproving of him? No, and women feel that. They feel the manipulative fake guy, and that fake guy is someone who just withholds the truth. What's a player? A player is someone who can't tell you the truth and manipulates you because he wants power over you, right? For example, a guy who love bombs you, who tells you the nice things, if I'm going to marry you, I'm going to be with you forever, just to f you. That's a guy who didn't tell you the truth. Any man who doesn't tell the truth is always manipulating you to usually get pussy, or for you just to be there for him because he's so scared of being an adult. He's a little kid. He's terrified. So, women actually want and desire a man who tells the truth, because a man who tells the truth is real. And a real man is sexy. A real man isn't a man who's pumping bench presses and punching people in the face and, covered in chest hair and has a brooding jawline. No, a real man is someone who has the balls to tell the truth. Because telling the truth in a world full of lies is crazy and hard. especially when the woman you love may resist your truth. That's the truth here. Let me break this down further. For those of you who've been in a relationship, you'll know this pattern. Your man tells you a truth that you don't like and you resist. For example, I'm going to think of a classic example. I've experienced this many times. You're dating someone. A man's dating someone. A woman. After a while together, they have enough rapport where you can start saying things that are true without crumbling the whole foundation. So this usually plays out as man meets friend of girlfriend or fiance or partner, new friend, old friend, whatever it may be, and he tells his girl, hey, I trust you, I love you, but this friend has a no all over my radar. She's jealous of you, she's dangerous, I trust you, but I have to tell you where I stand. I don't like this friend. I'm not going to control you and get mad at you if you hang out with them. It's not who I am, but I'm someone who has a responsibility to tell you the truth. This woman, this friend, is not your friend. She's jealous of you and will backstab you. You can choose what to do. I won't hold it against you. I won't mention this again, but this is where I stand. You deserve for me to be real with you, okay? Now, that woman then takes it super personally. And she thinks, oh my God, how can my man tell me this about my friend? I've had this friend forever. How could he say this? How could this be true? And then she takes it personally. She takes space to digest it. Now, then a couple hours later, that woman wants to f the shit out of her man. How do you explain that? Where a man tells a woman something that she didn't want to hear, like your friend is jealous of you. She's not a good friend. And then the woman's like, that's not easy to hear. Why the f is this guy telling me this? But then a day later or 12 hours later, she has this deep desire to f him. Why is that? Why is that? Or, same situation, you're dating a nice guy, he meets this friend, and you think this friend's kind of weird, and she's acting weird, and then you know in his reaction he doesn't like her, and when you ask him, hey, do you like my friend? He's like, yeah, she's amazing, she's great, but you know he doesn't feel that way. Is that sexy? No, that turns you off to the highest level. So I'm just speaking to this pattern that even though the female mind may resist male truth, whenever male truth is delivered with love and compassion and non-attachment, does her pussy come alive and she jump on him? Why is it the case? Because women, to feel safe, need to feel that you're fucking real. Even if his truth disappoints me and upsets me, at least he's real enough to tell me the truth. And if he's real enough to tell me the truth, even if I don't like it, he's safe. Because he's real. Because he does not need my approval to not collapse. And if he needs my approval or else he collapses, he's not safe. He's actually using me to feel safe. A safe man is safe without me. And because he's safe without me, he can tell me the truth, even if that truth may scare me. A man standing in his power, which is the highest aphrodisiac for a woman, is just a man who can tell her the truth. I've seen this with celebrities, models, supermodels, where they have all the celebrities in their DMs, The Rock, LeBron, whatever it may be, in their DMs, and they're still hung up on a guy who has a fraction of the money, a fraction of the looks, but that guy was ballsy enough to tell them the truth. And that one guy who was ballsy enough to tell them the truth has their heart and their pussy forever. Because no men are like that. No men have the heart and courage to tell a woman the truth with compassion. Not for being an asshole, but with compassion, saying, I care about you, this is the truth. You can choose to not accept it, you can choose to run away with it, but I have to tell you this because you deserve it. Not to control you, but to deliver what's real. So, let's add some nuance here. Because the asshole will tell you the truth. But you know you shouldn't be with the asshole. So why does the woman crave the asshole? And what's the nuance here? Women love an asshole for two reasons. The first being that most men don't have the balls to tell them the truth. If they're drinking too much, if their friend's a loser. If their career is not where they're meant to be, no guy has the balls to tell a hot woman what he actually thinks because he's so terrified of her disapproval. So when a guy is strong enough in his foundation to say, hey, your friend sucks, you're drinking too much, you deserve better, you deserve a better life, even though she's like, what the did this guy just say? But deep down she knows, holy shit, this guy's man enough to tell me the truth, to tell me what's real. And because he's telling me the truth, he's real. He's actually a real person. Even if he's an asshole, he's actually real. In this fake world of people who are wearing masks and always saying things to appease and manipulating, this guy's actually telling me the truth. So at least the asshole is not manipulative, because the asshole's saying, I don't like you. You're crazy. You're weird. You're annoying. That guy, even though he's a dick, is actually real. The nice guy's manipulating you because he's hiding the truth to get something out of you. The asshole's just telling you the truth because it's the truth. And if you don't like it and you leave him, so what? However, number 2 reason why women love assholes, and this is where it gets interesting, is that an asshole will tell you the truth, and an asshole telling you the truth turns you on because you feel like this guy doesn't need me. He's not collapsing because of my beauty. That's hot. Now, women stay with the asshole because the asshole is easy to leave. Because if he's always a dick, if he's always a dick to your friends, and he's an asshole, and he's saying mean things all the time, he's attractive, but I can leave him. Because he's an asshole, I can leave him. So women love staying with assholes because it's safe enough to hold them at a distance, to not actually fall fully in love. And when a woman doesn't fall fully in love, her childhood triggers, her trauma doesn't come fully out. It comes slightly out like a sprinkle. So she can hold this lover at a distance where she can manage her own emotions and trauma rather than falling fully in love, because falling fully in love means she has to confront all her trauma. So women love assholes because that asshole will tell her the truth. And a woman hearing the truth is sexy, but that asshole is an asshole, which means that I'll leave him one day. And if I leave him one day, I can keep him at a distance. And if I can keep him at a distance, then that means I don't have to fall in love. And if I don't have to fall in love, that means that I don't have to face my trauma. So I hope I'm revealing the difference between what women think they want versus what they actually want, which is a woman thinks they want a nice, safe guy, but go for the asshole because they actually want a man who tells them the truth and is real. But they go for the asshole after the nice guy because the asshole's safe enough to be with, because the asshole can leave them or they can leave him, and they won't feel that hurt because he was an asshole and they can justify leaving him. But what happens when a guy who tells you the truth with love, is not a dick, is compassionate, is kind? What happens when a woman meets that guy? She's terrified of him because he doesn't exist. And when she meets him, she knows I'll fall in love with this guy in 2 seconds. And because I fall in love with this guy so fast, I'll have to face all my trauma. And this guy's strong enough as a man to not put up with that shit. And that's what happens when a woman meets a real man. When a woman meets a real man who'll tell them the truth with love and compassion, who's not an asshole, who's not a beta nice guy, who's a loving, strong man, who's in touch with truth. When a woman meets that guy, most women run away because most women know that I'll fall in love with this guy. I'll fall deep. And falling deep in love with this guy means 2 things. The first being that I will have to confront my terror, my trauma from my childhood. And 2, this man is strong enough to not put up my bullshit with love, to guide me in a direction that's honoring my heart and my highest evolution. Most women can't handle that guy, so they run away and they go to the asshole or the nice guy, because both are 2 polarities of a man who's easy to leave because the dick's an asshole, so I'll leave him. The nice guy, I don't want to him, so I'll leave him. But a truly loving, compassionate guy who tells you the truth every time, that guy's hard to leave. And because he's hard to leave, you'll have to face your trauma. So to wrap this up, what do women actually want deep down? And I'm sure everyone listening can definitely come up with an answer now, but I'll say it again. What women really crave is a man who tells the truth with an open heart and gives you the space to process it. What does this look like? I'll use the same example. A king, I'll use the king archetype here. A king notices his girlfriend's friend is a loser who backstabbed her and is only using her as a way to feel powerful and is not a good friend, okay? 3 ways of handling it. The nice guy will say, oh my God, I love your friend Jenny. She's so nice. What an amazing friend. But deep down, you know he hates her, but he's too pussy to tell you that. All right. 1. 2, the asshole says, your friend Jenny is crazy. She's a bitch. She's going to backstab you. That bitch. I don't want anything to do with her. I'll never see her again. Asshole. most of you take the asshole over the beta because the asshole at least is strong enough to tell you the truth. Third, what does the king say? The king says, baby, I love you. My job is to protect your heart. I'm not saying it's to control you or to micromanage your friends, but you deserve to know my truth. I see deep jealousy in your friend. Your friend will backstab you one day. I hope I can protect you and save you from that embarrassment, that pain. So I'm telling you what I see now. You can choose what to do with this information. I'll be here, right? She then has space to process it, take it in, and come back to him, and he has no attachment to it. He said the truth. If she chooses to leave the friend, great. If she doesn't, he's still there. If it gets to a point where she's always at the house, and then the guy has to put some boundaries on. But for now, he can tell her the truth, and she can sit with it. And when a woman feels like, my man has my best interest at heart, he tells me the truth, and he gives me space to actually process it, and be in my body to feel if this is true or not, to actually process information. Because again, women don't process logic logically. Women process logic intuitively. So when a man tells a woman the truth, she can't go, yes, you're right. She has to go into her internal cave and feel the truth and feel in her body, is what he's telling me true? And in that somatic place, she almost always gets to a place of, yep, it's true. And when she's in there from her own process, she will live in that truth. But if the man rushes her and says, you have to see this as truth now, then she rejects it and runs away into her avoidant patterns because this guy can't control me. So what women actually want is a guy to tell them the truth and be man enough to stand there in her process of actually feeling it out. So another important point here is women are either turned on sexually by their partner, but he's an asshole, or they are feeling loved and safe with a nice guy, but they're not sexually turned on. Most women live in either polarity. They want to fuck their partner, but he's not safe. My partner is safe, I don't want to fuck him. Most women live in those two polarities. I can tell you now, you deserve to want to fuck your man and to feel safe with him at the same time. But most women don't know what that means. I can tell you what that means. A safe man you want to fuck is a guy who'll always tell you the truth with compassion and will give you the space to process his truth, right? Because the nice guy will never tell you the truth because he's so afraid of losing you that he's powerless. An asshole will tell you the truth, but he says it with no love and he controls you. A loving king will tell you the truth from his heart and give you space to process it. And that kind of guy is the guy you feel safe with and you'll always want to. And you deserve this. To conclude, finally, all women want to be with a man they want to and that they also feel safe with. But most women don't know what both of them are like together because they either experience one or the other. I feel safe with this guy, I don't want to fuck him. I want to fuck this guy, I don't feel safe with him. Women need the gift of feeling safe and wanting to fuck you. How is that possible? You as a woman have to understand that a man's ability to tell you the truth and what he actually thinks, even if you don't like it, is a metric. And it's a metric because it means I'm solid enough in my own power to tell you the truth, even if that truth risks your disapproval of me. But that man has to be in his heart enough so he can tell you the truth and give you space to process it without pushing you and controlling you. So I hope this gave some clarity as to why you may resist in your body nice guys and why you may resist mentally assholes. The truth is you want to feel safe with a man and you also want to fuck him. And that only can happen when you understand what you actually want. And what all women want is this, to feel safe and to want to both. And you deserve that. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch more content, please click this video right here and don't forget to subscribe right here. Thank you.